Back in 2019, before the world kinda, went off the rails for a while, a Korean studio called Shift Up started developing a new game called Project Eve. Now, what's crazy here is that before this, they mainly developed mobile games. Now, typically you hear of AAA developers eventually swapping to making mobile games later on, but I don't think I've ever actually heard of it happening the other way around. But, after 5 years in development, Project Eve was officially named Stellar Blade and was released worldwide on April 26th, 2024 as a PS5 exclusive. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name's Argonaut, and in this one, we're going to go into a little bit of detail about Stellar Blade and my thoughts on it. If you like what you see here, feel free to smack that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And now, back to the video. Although Stellar Blade came out in April, I initially didn't have much interest in the game, at all. Seeing an overly sexualized woman bouncing around everywhere in a bikini kinda just put me off to the idea of spending $70 on that game. But then, people kept bringing it up and saying just how much of a good game it was. And they also compared it to Nier Automata? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Which, admittedly, I've also never played, but I did pick it up a while ago on sale back in 2021. I mean, I'm sure that we all have our own backlog of games, right? But, after hearing so many good things about Stellar Blade, I eventually did develop an interest in playing it, and then in December of 2024, my girlfriend asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I happened to see Stellar Blade on sale at Amazon for about $50, and that was all she wrote. And after playing it, I can say I was pleasantly surprised with what I got. You start the game off as a woman named Eve, who's a member of what's known as the 7th Airborne Squad. Basically, just think of her as some type of super soldier. And she's launched from a settlement in space called the Colony over to Earth to find and kill these monstrous creatures called Naytiba, which have overrun the Earth after they apparently defeated humanity in war many years prior. Upon landing, her whole squad gets almost immediately wiped out because of course they do, and she ends up as the sole survivor. And after being on Earth for a little while, she comes to realize that while being pretty inhospitable, there still are humans here that are able to inhabit the planet, and with some of their help, she goes on to search for and fight the Alpha Naytibas, which, as the name implies, are some of the more powerful Naytibas. While the gameplay of the game actually seems pretty simple at first, there is quite a bit of depth to it. The game gives you so many different attacks, combos, and special moves that it's really easy to develop your own combat style, including a long-range gun, super moves, and crowd control moves. Personally, I'd love to see how some people who have mastered the combat system play this game. Now, admittedly, I am hot trash at this game, so all I ever did was just hit square, square, triangle throughout the whole thing. Even more importantly, you have to know how to parry in this game. Parrying, dodging, and guarding are some of the most important things that you can do. I had 2 modifiers on to help me with parrying, and I still didn't fully get the hang of it until about 12 hours in. But, overall the gameplay feels fast-paced, but yet really fun. Seeing just how creative you can be with things. The bosses in the game almost kind of remind me a bit of a From Software-styled game. I feel like I had to fight and die to them quite a bit in order to learn their moves, but overall, it was actually a hell of a fun experience. The graphics for the game are just simply all-around gorgeous. Half of the times when you're in a fight, you could probably take a snapshot at almost any given moment and somehow create what would probably look like a semi-professional wallpaper. Not to mention, the game also gives you a ton of customization options for how Eve looks. You can change her hairstyle, hair color, whatever accessories she wears along with the clothes, like, say, earrings or glasses. And yes, even putting on a bikini. And they even released some Nier DLC where you can have her look like 2B. And it's also getting a new DLC called the Project of Nikki DLC, which will give you an extra boss fight, new outfits, and new collectibles. It's based off another game that Shift Up created back in 2017 called Goddess of Victory Nikki, which I'd actually never even heard of before creating this video. But you can look forward to that DLC this June. And the music for the game? I mean, I don't know how much money Shift Up put into the budget for the music of this game, but I fell in love with so many of the tracks that played throughout. I can almost guarantee that by the end of the game, you'll be adding at least 2 songs to your playlist. Practically every track they used will probably be memorable to you in some way throughout the game, whether you're exploring the wasteland or getting completely obliterated by the same boss for the 20th time straight. For someone that initially didn't care about this game, I easily put about 50 hours into it, just scrounging around, knocking out almost every side mission I could. I'm not searching the whole desert to take pictures of stickers. And with how successful this game was, I'm almost certain that there will be a sequel coming along at some point. And I truly can't wait for it. My main regret with this whole experience is that I didn't play Nier before this game. I'm hoping Nier doesn't end up feeling like a step down from Stellar Blade when I get around to it. In short, Stellar Blade really surprised me. If you're into a game with stylish action, solid boss fights, and eye-popping visuals, it's definitely worth your time. Just maybe not for the full $70. Seeing as it's a single-player game that's over a year old now, you shouldn't have to wait too long for it to be on sale somewhere, whether that be Amazon or the PlayStation Store. But I personally wouldn't spend more than about $50 or $55 on it. But let me know in the comments, do you agree with my take on the game? Do you disagree? Was there something I missed? Also, let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on Stellar Blade, and if there are any other PlayStation games that I should take a look at and make a video of. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.